Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we've got a Porsche Cup car race around the brilliant Hungaroring, of course, where recently the Formula 1 cars took to. This race is being driven by Colby, Warren, myself, Nathan Richards will be in the commentary box to take you through the action. So we can see there 4 lights and we're away, heading down towards turn 1, currently starting in that P3 position. There we can see the car behind us having a bit of a tap as we head down towards turn 1 and unfortunately, in our case, getting ahead for the time being, heading down towards that braking zone. Of course, these Porsche Cup cars very small, very light as the top two make a bit of contact now, and the guy starting down in fourth, that being Joop Vos, gets up to first position there. Bit of distraught from one of the drivers racing in third position, that being Matthew Hops in that green and red Porsche. As they all head round turn number 2 and then back to the right at turn number 3 here. Colby looking to try and find a move here for third position and just looking to where he can get ahead of Matthew here. To the left hand side at turn 4 they go. Keeps it down to third gear, gets in and gets a brilliant move there ahead of Matthew Hops, who's going to try and go around the outside of us, heading in towards turn 5, but luckily we can cover that move off. Of course, these cars, 28 minutes we've got of racing here, and believe me, I've had a look through this video already and there is non-stop action, so make sure to stick around for the next 16-ish laps of this Porsche Cup race around the Hungaroring. Now heading through what I like to call the Mickey Mouse section here, turns 8 I believe through towards turn number 11, just having to throw the car in and carry as much speed through as possible, and already here gaining on Joop Vos, who's in second place. Of course, there we can see Enrique Moya is in the lead of this race, as you can see there Matthew going for a bit of a dive bomb, but luckily we can cover it off in towards the braking zone at turn number 12. Heading round now into the final couple of corners, a little bit wide there from Joop, but trying to get the move but can't quite get alongside, unfortunately. Heading in towards the final corner yet again, Joop going wide. This gives us the inside line out of the final corner now. Heading down towards turn 1, we get squoze a bit to the inside and still unfortunately can't find that move. But remember, there's 28 minutes to go in this race, well 26 at this current point. It doesn't really matter if we can't find anything just at this moment as we head into turn 1 around the outside this time around and can't quite find the move. Heading down towards turn 2 once again. In F1 cars you'd have the DRS, you'd have a good chance of trying to make a move down there, but in this car no DRS at all. You've got to use all of your skill if you want to get past a car on circuit. Of course, this circuit being quite traditional, quite old, it's not very easy either to make moves around here. So you've really got to, you've got to put your skill to the test and your racecraft to the test, and of course the racecraft of the other drivers to the test. And over this, next 25-ish minutes, we get to learn how these drivers battle ahead of us and how they battle behind, and that can also influence how we battle as we continue through this race. Of course, saying we, I mean as Colby, who's doing a brilliant job so far. One of the highest Iracing in the lobby, you can see there, just over 4k, and we'll earn 24 from this race. So of course, there's lots to gain here for Colby. Warren, and of course, having an incident and dropping down would lose him a lot of I-rating. As we head through now in towards turn 11 and 12 once again, yet again, just following the car behind and trying to cover off Matthew Hops in fourth behind. We've got a bit of a gap now to Thomas Kukera in P5, just over 2 seconds. So as long as we don't battle too furiously, we will keep that 2-second gap and probably increase it as the race continues on. Yet again there, getting very close to Vos as we head in towards the penultimate corner at turn 13, then in towards turn 14 at the final corner. Yet again, just looking to tuck up behind and not allow Matthew Hops to get a move, because if he could find a way past us, it makes our job even more difficult of trying to get back in the podium and of course fighting for, hopefully at the end, the lead and the win of the race. Of course, Enrique having a 2.5-second gap to us as we go for a bit of a lunge in towards turn 1. Close the contact, we chuck it onto the curb, and a bit of a half spin there allows Joop to continue on, and Matthew now to try and make a move into turn 2. Little bit of a misjudgment there in towards turn 1. I think also Joop Vos broke a little bit too early as well. We got caught off guard and unfortunately went a little bit straight and unfortunately ended up on that curb. As we head our way around now to turn 3 up towards turn 4, we have unfortunately dropped down to P4, but of course many laps to go. We can easily fight our way back in towards third and second position as we round turn number 5. Of course, in some variations of this track, turn 4 and 5 is known as a as that uphill left-hander, but of course I'm using the Formula 1 track map, hence why that is turn 4, and the right-hander uphill is turn number 5. Now just heading round in towards turn 7 through to 10 and 11 once again. We can see there our current lap a little bit further off the time of Matthews, but only by around 80 thousandths of a second. So still on that leading pace, and of course at the front we can see there Enrique also on a decent time there, 48.3, very fast indeed, over a second ahead of us at the moment as we head our way around turn 13, through turn 12. Bit of a slide from Colby here, just trying to get ourselves back into the rhythm. Of course, a long race to go. 5 minutes into around a sixth of the race is completed. Now just heading through the final corner, you can see ahead, of course, Matthew and Joop Vos looking to have an argument, and that's brilliant for us. They battle, they, you know, hopefully get a bit of damage, I suppose we could say. Brings us right back into that battle to fight for that P2 position. There we can see a 48.4 being set by the leader, Enrique Moya, at the front, as we yet again break a little bit late there. Matthew avoiding us, and that gives us a position of third once again. And Matthew will try and fight back as we head in towards turn 2. Yet again, a bit of distraught there from Matthew in the chat. You can hear him have a bit of a word with us as we head in towards turn number 2 and 3, and Colby responding to Matthew's claims there as we head through towards turn 4 once again, and just can't find a way through there. Another message from Matthew about turning in, of course, not too happy with what's going on, but then again, you know, it's hard racing. We're going to have racing where we get closer contact. That's how we bring out the best in these drivers. So Colby will continue doing what he's doing now as we carry on our way down towards turn number 6 and 7 at the chicane, hopping the curb on the exit, and then running wide as we head our way in towards turn 7 through 11 once again. Of course, that gap at the front, unfortunately, is increasing now. Nearly 5 seconds is the gap between us and the leader. And still, even though we've had some harsh battling, the gap behind is still increasing, which is definitely what we like to see now. Looking to be on a guaranteed position of 2nd, 3rd or 4th. Of course, still gaining iRacing in the process, but a 2nd place would definitely, or even a place on the podium, will be the thing we're looking for the most as we yet again heading towards the penultimate corner. Starting 3rd, we lost a position, so you know, either way it's not going to be the best result if we do finish 4th, but of course there's still things to gain and also things to learn for Colby as we head back down towards turn number 1. Of course, Joop Vos, the leader of this train, Matthew looking to hook up into the slipstream, and so are we as we head down towards turn 1. Of course, they're setting our fastest lap of the session. Matthew to the outside of Vos. We're going to go to the outside of Vos as well to try and get a bit of a switch back through turn 1 and 2. Brilliant here from Colby now. We're looking to just get ahead of Matthew at this current point. He's to the left of us as we head in towards the next braking zone. A bit of a lock up slightly. Runs a little bit wide. And Matthew, unfortunately, still keeps that 3rd position. But definitely having to fight for it now. Not getting that position very easily. Of course, Colby putting down all the pressure on Matthew ahead, and of course Joop Vos, who's in that 2nd position, still having a struggle himself as we head our way into turn 5. Bit of a send there from Matthew, late lunge on Joop Vos. We're looking there to try and capitalise. Matthew runs a little bit wide. We have that inside line now down in towards the chicane. Can we find a move here? No, we stick behind. We know that it's best just to stay behind for now. We've got over 20 minutes to go. We've got a lot of time to make that move for 3rd and hopefully, inevitably, 2nd position in this race. As unfortunately, there, Daniel Vincenzi, I think that says at the top, has unfortunately disconnected from the race, so he won't continue further on. I think he was down near the back either way, so certainly not too much of a loss for himself, and also Max Lai as well having a disconnection. As we can see there, Matthew having a bit of contact there with Joop Vos as we now look to try and get it up the inside. And Matthew there yet again showing some distraught after that move as they head their way in towards turn 14 there. Joop, of course, having his say as well to Matthew on the radio. Matthew very verbal, it seems, at the moment on moves that are happening on the track, but we're just trying to avoid it all. We're just trying to make our moves and get ourselves into those podium positions. Now we've got a brilliant run down towards turn number 1 here on Matthew Hops. We're going to keep the inside line, brake later, try not to hit Joop in the process as we head into the 1st corner, and for now we have got that 3rd place secured and Matthew can't fight back. So a brilliant effort there from Colby Warren. We waited nearly 10 minutes, and in the end we did get that third position, and now it's down to us to see what we can do against Voss, who's in that second place. Colby fighting hard now as we head out turn 3 up towards turn number 4. And yet again, we're in that position now where we have to try and cover off Matthew Hops as well, as we are trying to attack on Voss now as we head up to turn 5. Yet again, running wide, and we've seen him do that on previous laps, running a little bit wide into some of the traction zones. So it seems like a bit of understeer here from Joop's car as we head in towards turn 6 and 7. Once again, hopping that curb and getting a track limit violation there, unfortunately. But we have got 17 X's before, or 17 incident points before we get that disqualification. So still in a perfect position at the moment, of course. An off-track hit and an off-track there doesn't really harm your chances of a good race position. As Matthew yet again on the back of us in towards turn number 11 and 12. As you can see, they're going for a send. We have to avoid him as he has that inside line. Keeping to the inside down to turn 13. Perfect defence here from Colby, and accidentally turns on the window wipers as we head through in towards turn number 13 there. And of course turning them back off again as we head in towards the final corner. Running a little bit wide ourselves this time around, losing some time in that final corner. And unfortunately, Voss looking to try and stretch that gap. 8 tenths now between us and second place, and we can see further behind there Matthew Hops with a 3/10 gap as we head down towards turn number 1. Looking good so far on the exit. Looking to get back on the power nice and early as we head our way around now in towards turn 2. And what we'll do now for this next portion of the lap, we'll have radio silence from myself. You can have a relax from hearing me talk, and we'll just listen to the beauty of this Porsche Cup car.
Side's clear.
And I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the sound of that Porsche Cup car as we went around the Hungaroring. A brilliant vehicle, a brilliant piece of Porsche machinery. But now we're on the back of Voss now as we head in towards turn number 1. To the outside we go, looking to claim second place. We run a little bit wide there, slight bit of contact in towards the braking zone there of turn number 1. But we continue on the rampage, on the charge after Voss as we head down towards turn 2. Still on the outside line, and you can see the other Porsche there just looking to keep that edge ahead for now. But we have the inside line at turn 3. We have to back out. And now, unfortunately, that brings Matthew Hops back into the battle. But he also thinks clearly and decides to back off as we head up to turn 4. And then in towards turn 5. Yet again, unfortunately, gaining another track limit violation. But Colby still in the zone. Still looking to try and claim that second position. Unfortunately, though, Enrique Moya has stretched that gap to over 9 seconds. So I think as much as we'll try, I don't think we've got that high of a chance there of claiming that first spot. But a second place is still well deserved here. Looking, of course, to increase that Iracing and safety rating for Colby Warren. At the moment, gaining 24. We will gain a lot more if we can increase ourselves up into second position. As we are on just over, I believe, that halfway point of the race, lap 8, and we're 14 minutes into this race as we head down in towards turn number 12, and then back to the left at turn number 13 now. Colby still putting the pressure here on Voss, and that is the key thing. We know that at this point we can't get past, but putting the pressure on, making Joop run a bit wide here Just giving him that uncertainty of where we are on circuit definitely helps us in terms of getting past and making you make a mistake as we head back down towards turn 1. We'll see here what can Colby do. We're gaining in here. We have the slipstream as we turn to the outside into turn 1. Braking late, trying to go around the outside of Colby yet again. Sorry, around the outside of you, Voss again as Worth, driving as Colby, not you. As we head down towards turn 2, yet again on the outside line, and yet again just applying the pressure here as we actually go for a send here around the outside at turn 2, and a little bit naughty there from Voss, sends us a little bit wide heading through turn 2 and turn 3, and Matthew on the scene once again, looking to try and claim third place from us. As we can see now Thomas Kukera in 5th position currently, 5.5 seconds back from our train, of course losing a lot of time, just not on the same pace as us in the top 4, which is perfect for us here as we continue our charge for 2nd place. See, pop through turn 6 and 7 on the chicane, then get back on the power once more. Of course here you can see Voss looking to make more mistakes, running wide in certain areas, applying the throttle too early and causing some understeer. This is the perfect position for us now to try and claim 2nd place as we head around turn 11 down towards turn 12, and we'll see what we can do on Voss as we head away to the end of that final sector and to begin lap 10 of 16, or predicted 16. As we head around the final corner, around the outside, we're trying to go here on the 2nd place car. Looking for a switch back down to turn 1. We got a brilliant exit there, a brilliant slipstream opportunity in towards turn number 1. Looking to make that move for 2nd place, sticking it to the outside here of Joop Voss. Can we make that move in towards turn number 1? We're going to brake later, but Joop also braking late with us. We go a little bit deep. We have to take that outside line heading out of turn 1, but that will give us the inside at turn number 2. Bit of contact as we head away in towards this next downhill left-hander. We're still sticking to that inside, still committed to making that move, and we have made the move now for 2nd position. We get a big tap heading through turn 2 and 3 by Joop Voss there. I think because we took such a contradicting line, obviously Joop carried the speed through and unfortunately made a bit of contact in the process. We continue on, but unfortunately picking up another 4x from that incident, so taking us to 6 out of 17x. Of course, not our fault as Matthew there up the inside of Joop Voss, and those two now looking to break away a little bit from us as we continue on. And Matthew there yet again not happy with the defence from Joop Voss in towards that corner. Oh, and giving Matthew a taste of his own medicine, it seems, heading through turn 7 and 8 as we continue our valiant effort on up towards turn 11. 7/10 gap now to Matthew, and a 1.1 second gap to Joop Voss in 4th as we head our way down towards turn number 12 and 13. Once again, I get confused with 12, 13 and 14. Can never get the corner number right as we head our way through. It'd be nice if I knew the names of some of these corners, but I don't think many of these Hungaroring circuit corners have many names, and I don't think I'll be able to pronounce them very easily either, as they would all, I presume, be in Hungarian, which is definitely not a language of my expertise. Coming from England, I definitely don't think I'd be able to name them very, very well. So we'll stick to the corner numbers just for now. So we head our way back down towards turn 1 with a 3/10 gap to Matthew. Hops, of course, claiming 3rd away from Joop Voss, who lost 2 positions on that last lap. So big shame there for Voss, as Matthew still on the charge, and Joop, I'm not sure if he's got a bit of damage there, as he has dropped quite back from us, hasn't he? Over nearly a 1.5 there as we round turn 2 and back to the right at turn 3. Of course, we are nearly 19 minutes in, I believe, so 10 minutes to go in this race, around 5 laps as well, as we continue to keep that 2nd place. Of course, we would have liked to have hunted down on Enrique Moya, but unfortunately for us, he has an 11.5 second gap, so that will not be in the pipeline for us. That 2nd place is the golden position we can take from this race. Of course, starting in 3rd position, a 2nd place will be still very nice for us, and of course will gain us that critical, I believe that says 39 Iracing of Yes, the screen's a little bit small at the top left, of course, so I'm having to kind of zoom in my eyes so I can see what numbers we get presented with at the top left. What I can see, of course, on this lap around, now we've got a bit of free air. We're not as far off the pace in terms of our personal best than we was earlier in the race here. Just within 2.5 to 3 tenths of our personal best time. So we head our way through into turn 13. And Matthew on our rear still as we get ready to head round towards turn number 14 at the final corner on this circuit. And we charge on yet again back down towards turn 1. Completing there a 1, if that's a 148.7 for us on the board. And now Matthew's got a good run in towards turn 1 here, looking to make a move on us. But we cover that inside line. Matthew gets sent to the outside. We still apply the power up on the exit and keep that advantage as we head our way down towards turn 2. And then back to the right at turn number 3. Matthew here, still hunting down on us. 3/10 gap, 2/10 gap now as we head for our way around in towards turn 5 and 6, and we can see further back, of course, now we can see Fast losing more time, 1.9 seconds is our gap, so of course it could be due to some damage, it could be due to some sort of, I wouldn't say mental fatigue, but lack of motivation after having that incident with Matthew a few laps ago, dropping down to 4th and just not getting right in the zone, and of course obviously not having that slipstream, which does gain us a lot of time around this Hungaroring circuit, especially down towards turn 12, turn 1, and also you get a bit of slipstream down towards turn number 4 as we continue our way on back down towards turn number 12. There we are, got it right this time, number 12, not number 13. We'll head into the left-hander at number 13. As we continue on. Oh, Matthew going very wide there, giving us a big advantage there in terms of gaining time. We've got a 9/10 gap at the moment to Matthew Hops as we round the final quarter there. The leader, obviously that being Enrique Moya there, 48.9 on the board. We were a couple of tenths quicker on that lap. What about this lap? We were about a tenth quicker, so we're actually gaining time here on Enrique, but unfortunately half a tenth a lap is nowhere near enough what we need. We need to be gaining a second a lap if we want to have any chance of even closing in on Enrique Moya, who's got, I've got to say, doing a brilliant job at the front, obviously unfaulted from himself. Got the lead at the start, continued it on. We had that battle and he extended his lead even more. And there, a bit of a slide allows Matthew to gain back in. So a mistake from Matthew gives us the advantage. Then a mistake yet again from us gives Matthew that advantage back as we head our way up into turn 4. I've got to say, these Porsche Cup cars, they have a lot of understeer. So a track like this is difficult. It's very, very difficult because it's hard in a car that's got lots of oversteer, or a balanced set of oversteer to understeer. But in a car that's really understeery, it does make this circuit very difficult to drive, and just having to wrestle the Porsche Cup car through some of these corners. And another issue you get presented with in this car is if you run a little bit wide, slide off, you're going to keep sliding. It's very hard to get the car back on course if you go a little bit wide, and of course going off track is the last thing you want for a variety of different reasons. As we now have to defend from Matthew to the inside, we stick to the middle of the circuit. No way through for Matthew there. We hug the apex. Matthew has a bit of a run on us though as we head into turn 13. We have to defend harshly here. We have to push Matthew out a little bit wide to keep that second place position for now as we head in towards turn 14. And there Matthew looking for an inside move, but we covered it off nicely. But the issue we have there is you can see we didn't carry that much speed through turn 14, but neither did Matthew as we head our way back down towards turn number 1. Yet again might be in the position to have to defend here as we head back down towards the first corner. Matthew not in the position though to make a move this time around. And I'm sorry there, the spotter having a word with us, but I completely ignored every word he said. Something about someone being off the pace, so I presume that would be Ubisoft behind, obviously being nearly 3 seconds back from us now. Of course, having that incident a few laps ago, losing that position of 3rd, and now just trying to see what he can do, I suppose, at that point. Ubisoft just thinking, I just need to finish the race. We're not going to get a position ahead. We're not going to lose a position behind. So just get the car to the end of this race as we, of course, continue on. Only 2 off tracks in this race, of course, a 4X, which I don't believe we deserved, as obviously it was super fast. I think that hit the back of us heading into turn 2. So we'll talk about the fact we only had 2 off-track limits, which is brilliant, of course. In Formula 1, 3 of them you get a penalty. Here you can get 17 of them as long as you get no other incident points, and you can, of course, well, 16, and then the 17th one will be a DNF. As we continue on now, heading round in towards turn 11 once again, of course, here 25 minutes in, so we've got about around 3 minutes to go in this race. As we can see here, Matthew Hopp's looking to gain in on us. We head into turn 12. We have a slide. We have a big slide. That allows Matthew to get right on our rear. To the inside at turn number 13. Makes a lunge on us. We lose that third for now. We go back for a switch. Back up the inside of turn 13. But that will give Matthew the inside at turn number 14. As we head our way back down towards turn number 1. What can Matthew do here? He's going to have to try and get the move. We need to make sure we can defend it on the outside as we head our way in towards turn number 1. And we'll have a bit of radio silence now for the next lap and a half, as we could see a lot of dialogue between Matthew and Colby.
Right side's clear. 2 laps left. Car right. Clear right.
Sorry for that contact, man. I really didn't mean to do that.
There's no way you've just done that. You turned in, mate, and then just slammed me in the fucking arse, man. Fuck's sake. Do you have any brains at all?
Why are you upset? I apologize. It was an accident.
Yeah, mate, but the fucking jockey behind you has already given us a fucking A-tag, and then you just give me 4X, I've never would have... So there's my race ruined on fucking 3 hits. Like, it's awful. I'm not sure how people can't comprehend that you can't turn it. Like, how does it not make fucking sense?
As they continue on down towards turn number 13 and 12 yet again. Of course, Matthew showing great discomfort in the moves. Of course, nothing intentional made by Colby. And a big shout to hear those words used towards Colby Warren, who's done a brilliant job so far. But we continue on now, rounding towards the final corner to begin. I believe this will be the final lap of the race. As we head our way round, and Matthew there looking to be given a meatball flag, I think, as he continues on into the pits.
Colby and you, fucking donkey.
He called me a donkey.
Last lap. Bring it on home. That lap time was 1:15.
And Colby found it quite amusing they got called a donkey there. Of course, Matthew,
I'm really
unfortunately
sorry,
for
man. The
himself,
last
out of the
contact was
race.
Definitely not intentional. It wasn't about turning in. I accelerated a lot more, and I thought that you were carrying more speed out of that corner. That's what the tap was for. I am genuinely sorry for that.
When we were side by side in the braking zone, mate, he turned in.
It's racing, boys. Come on.
I haven't touched on you whatsoever, but we'll be next to each other, so I'll give you the space. I've let you have the fucking pass when I could have been a twat. And
We'll turn the audio a little bit down as we continue this final lap of the race. Of course, a brilliant effort here from Colby Warren, has fought all the way to the end. Unfortunately, we couldn't fight for that victory, but we had a brilliant battle with Matthew and Yoop for second and third. Of course, Yoop gaining back into us, but we don't need to worry at the moment. We have got that second place secured. It's been an absolutely brilliant race, of course. We can hear Matthew slightly in the background, but I've turned it down so we can continue talking for the last part of this race. In towards turn 12 for the final time in this race. I'm sure Colby will be happy that this is his final time entering the final sector. Of course, Enrique Boyap took the victory with a 14.5-second lead. Probably will be around 15 by the time he gets to the line. A brilliant effort from first place. But Colby, a well-deserved second place finish here around the Hungaroring in the Porsche Cup car, as we will cross the line very shortly to claim that place on the podium. And Jude Foss will take third in his Porsche Cup car with, I believe that is Thomas and Lester down in the 4th and 5th, I believe, if I've counted that correctly. And we now head to the end of the race. I've got to say a big thank you to Colby for sending this clip over for me to provide commentary over. It was a brilliant, action-packed race throughout. And of course, make sure to stick around in case you see more of Colby's race. Race, not hot lap videos, race overview videos, I suppose you could call it. As I'm sure he'll be taking part in many, many more. So thank you from myself, Nathan Richards, and of course, thank you from Colby for watching this race. So for now, goodbye.